Happy National Chocolate Eclair Day.
I actually have 5 of them here.
I'm just eating one.
I don't think they're going to make it through the show. The great thing about
What's that?
you start from this side. If you start from this side, it'll shoot out that way. So anybody who's never eaten an eclair, make sure you. Otherwise, it looks kind of gross.
That can be said about a lot of things besides wine. All right, everybody, welcome out to the Lager Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, August the 3rd, 2021. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Hey, folks. And it's a fun day today. It is Grab Some Nuts Day.
It is Grab Some Nuts Day. Happy Grab Some Nuts Day.
So I'm gonna grab some nuts here.
I'm gonna grab my nuts too. Hold on. I got them right here. You got yours?
Yeah.
All right. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, there's mine right there.
Mine's in a. Well, we'll talk why it's in that taster, but I got dark chocolate covered almonds with coconut flakes in it.
Yeah, I just got peanuts.
Peanuts are not nuts.
Yeah, I know. It's National Legume Day here.
It's not Grab Some Legumes Day. Legumes. Legumes? Where do legumes come from? And you're not grabbing them, you're pouring them, too.
I just drank some legumes.
You're doing everything wrong.
You're doing everything wrong. So.
Everything wrong. Oh, well.
So how are you?
I've got some Sabra flakes, right?
Nice, very nice.
Nice. Going well. John, are you aware that there are these things called alligators?
I am aware of alligators, yes.
Okay, then my job's done.
Happy Alligator Awareness Day.
Yes,
all right.
Now everyone's aware. There are things called alligators.
There are alligators.
I don't understand these holidays. Alligator.
I don't know. Did you know that yesterday was National Boob Day?
I did.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even realize it until a certain guy by the name of Al Gattulo posted it on Facebook to inform everybody in case,
One of them, maybe not the biggest boob fan I know, but one of the more open about it.
Sure, absolutely. And I had commented, and I said, it's a good thing it wasn't today, otherwise you would have started the show without a shirt on. So I know. Anyway, so I've
not been able to get to a fly machine. So yeah, I'm developing man boobs because I refer to fly machine as the anti-man boob machine.
Anti-man boob machine. There you go. That's always good. So, tonight is also National Night Out Against Crime.
It is.
So hopefully the Mets are taking the night off because what they've been doing lately is just a crime. It's
the second half slump.
That's one of the reasons why I'm wearing a Pirates cap tonight.
Out of embarrassment. Pretty
much. Yeah, I figured they're a shitty team that's been playing good lately, so or at least better than they were in the beginning of the season, except for the Brewers last week. But that's another story anyway. We won't get into sports now. That's tomorrow night.
That is your show tomorrow night.
That is the show tomorrow night. Yeah. So tonight's show is about beer, though, right?
Tonight's show is about beer, not lighthouses.
Not lighthouses. No.
No, that was the pre-show.
Although it was a pre-show, like a half an hour about lighthouses. I don't know why, but
that's why we were late today. We're talking about lighthouses.
Lighthouses, yeah. So and we're talking about those ones at the end of piers or jetties or whatever that go up and have light, just not lighthouses, but or open airy houses,
like in the movie Up.
Up, right? Exactly.
Gotcha.
Case in point, right? So, we have guests today, don't we?
Yes, and which will explain why I'm eating nuts out of a 2-ton taster.
2-ton taster.
The taster does not weigh 2 tons. I'm not that strong.
I was going to say a 2-ton taster. That's pretty heavy taster. With us today on the show we have Mr. Matt and Mr. Jim Barbiere. How are you guys?
Greetings.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
This is what, half the brain trust of 2-ton?
Doing well, 2/3.
Two-thirds, half.
I always count Doc.
Yeah. As half. So, how are you guys on this fine evening?
Doing well, man. Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it. And I was digging your comments about the lighthouses. Shouting out Barnegat Bay Lighthouse, not mentioned, right?
True, It wasn't mentioned. This is true.
And Old Barney is probably my favorite lighthouse in New Jersey.
A tornado at Barnegat Lighthouse last Thursday.
Really?
Yeah, with all those the wicked weather we had last Thursday, and I think there was like 4 or 5 or 6 tornadoes in Jersey last week, and one of them went right across Barnegat, right across the bay, and came right across Barnegat Light on Del BI. Yeah,
and Old Barney's still standing.
Still standing. So anyway.
I always thought it was the tallest lighthouse in New Jersey, but I think Absecon's actually the tallest.
Is it?
Wow, you guys weren't kidding about the lighthouse conversation. Anyway, it's great.
Hey, you started it.
Yeah, he did.
I was lured here under false pretenses. I'm a man.
We're supposed to be talking about beer, and I think, and they're drinking already. Damn it!
They were drinking before they signed on. So
we were backstage.
They were backstage
What are you guys,
drinking. They
what
were
are
in
you
the
guys
green
drinking?
room.
What are you guys drinking?
What are you drinking? God.
What's in your heart?
Yeah.
You mean this?
Hey, this guy. Well done.
Go, nerd.
So I'll just throw that up right now, since the three of you are drinking the same damn beer. So.
This is This is.
Come on, man. You got a sick palate. Give me some notes. Think flavors you're detecting.
Well, I just ate some dark chocolate covered almonds, so it's going to be interesting.
So he's getting a little almond and dark chocolate and cocoa and
coconut. You use cyber hops in this. Huh?
To be fair, our beer once got accused of tasting like hot dogs at a festival. And I was like, oh, man, it was a Saison. Like, maybe there's some weird phenol. And then Matt looks over, and the girl who's eating it is, like, simultaneously eating a hot dog. And he's like, well, ma'am.
Well, and then she went back to the hot dog vendor and told them this hot dog tastes like beer.
I was like, yeah, we didn't put any hot dogs in this batch.
It might be the beer or the hot dog.
I don't know. Yeah,
there you go. That would have been awesome, though, if you could have like zeroed in on what flavor, what aspect was making that beer taste like hot dogs, and then you could have released a hot dog beer.
No, because you're absolutely right. Like the different terpenes that are present in both myrcene, but also in mangoes and marijuana, and like weird, like cross, ways that plants produce, like geraniol and linalool and what's crazy, like naturally occurring other things, right? So like that isoamyl acetate in Hefeweizen is literally the same isoamyl acetate in banana. So you're right. So what's the hot dog compound?
Exactly. There's got to be,
If you're listening, I know you know the answer.
Yeah, nice. Exactly.
I tell you, there's going to be a spelling quiz at the end of that statement. I don't think I can spell any of those words that just came out of your mouth.
Well, what you do is you replay this when it's done, and you hold Siri up to it, and then she'll spell it for you. Done.
Well, one of those is a porn star. So please, if you're underage, don't actually watch that.
Don't do that.
Don't we have any underage people?
It's a terpene. It's also a stage name. Please,
terpene. I thought you meant hot dog.
I can actually spell terpene.
Whoa! I mean, that's cool too. That's also on the table for some folks.
Hot dog.
What do you think of this beer? Beer Samurai.
I love it. This is my favorite IPA you guys make. Actually, absolutely love this. Because I like the citrusy ones. I love the tangerine in this. It gets a nice tangerine flavor to it. I'm trying to pick out other things. It's like I said, I'm stepped all over because of I eat before, right at the beginning of every show, which just messes up the first beer every single time. So when I get to maybe down about here, which will be in about 37 seconds.
You give yourself too much credit. That's going to take you far less time than that.
I mean, a little bit of what we were going for, if that, so the Belma, Idaho 7, Nugget, El Dorado, kind of an interesting blend. Definitely has some earthy hops there. Nugget does have some orange expression. It can be a lifter on the other one. So that's what it's trying to do, is play a more supporting role. You're definitely going to get some of the tropical from the El Dorado. Yeah. And the Belma is a little bit strawberry. So we're going like melon patch, you know what I mean? So not really citrus. I do love the Citra, branches and stuff like that. So staying away from all the C hops actually was a kind of interesting rogue move on this batch to try to get some of those, like honeydew melon or like strawberries, honeydew melon.
Yeah, but more along the more towards the rind, not towards the center of the melon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. There's that earthiness that it's got a little spice almost cutting too from like.
Sure. Are you getting any hot dog?
Maybe a little sauerkraut.
A little sauerkraut. There you go.
I didn't have no sauerkraut.
And it's got a little bit of hot burn on the very back end that kind of tickles the back of your palate and leaves you wanting just to drop more. Or maybe I have a problem.
Yeah, it's not an aggressive bitterness.
It's a pleasant astringency, I find.
Yeah, it's refreshing.
Oh, thanks.
Nice. It is refreshing beer.
5.8. We showed some restraint on this one. Usually, it's like Two Ton Brewing, home of the 7% session.
I think I had one of those.
Well,
on Saturday.
Seriously, if all you're drinking on a regular basis is 12 and 14% beer, 7% is a session now.
Yeah.
When you think about it, it's all relative, right?
For sure.
All right. Anyway, all right. I'm going to open my beer if you don't mind.
Get a little onion skin out of it too.
You got some onion skin. Interesting.
Like I said,
was that hot dog onions? No, man, I'm taking that too far now. All right.
No, but
so I wasn't fortunate enough to grab any Two Ton before the podcast today, so I do apologize. But being out in Pittsburgh a couple weekends ago, I picked up some beer alls out there. So Grist House Brewing out in Pittsburgh. I picked up London Crawling.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right.
That's Sex Pistols, right? London Calling, is that Sex Pistols?
London Calling is the Clash.
Clash.
London Calling is the Clash.
Oh, yeah.
This is London Crawling, so...
No, I knew. I got
yeah. Right, no, I know what you meant. Yeah.
Really punk, it's pretty bad.
This is in English miles. Here, I'll throw this up on the screen there. It's only 3.7%.
Hey, London Crawling is crawling across the screen.
There you go. London is crawling across the screen. There you go. So I'm just pouring it here.
That's a great style, by the way. I'll take an old speckled hen. I spent a little time in Southern England and like a real cask ale. I'll take an old speckled hen, any day of the week.
English milds are just like ridiculously good.
And anybody who's rolling their eyes at Old Speckled Hen, the problem with Old Speckled Hen is by the time it makes it over here, it's clear bottles. Now it's starting to come over in cans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have seen widget. They'll do like a Boddingtons. That's a little truer to style. But I mean, the real ale nerds,
Yeah, nothing beats that.
Cheers. Good. Yeah. Close.
Salute. Chin down. There you go.
Mr. Love you.
Really good. So good. I had it while I was at the brewery on draft, and it's really not too far different in the can than it was on tap. And on tap, it was fantastic. So,
you guys got yourself a mix 4 there?
Yeah. So it looks like a crispy boy.
I love crispy boy.
And a 2-player.
Yeah. Collab with our first Twin Elephant.
Yeah. I don't know how much you get. I'm sorry, Mike.
very nice.
Yeah, I had 2-player while I was there. That was yums.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Very nice. All right. So, why don't we talk about you and Two Ton?
Which one?
That's what we're here for. Huh? You guys, the two of you, both of you.
Oh, the plural you.
The plural you. When I say yous, why don't we talk about yous, guys?
The two youths.
The two youths. Anyway.
Did you just say
All right, so you got questions prepared? Are you winging it? What's going on? Yeah.
There's
Did
always
you
one
say
question
utes?
prepared because it's the same question.
Same question every
show.
time, every show. So I got to ask it. The first one's always, what was the first craft beer you ever had?
The first which one?
First craft beer you ever had that you can remember anyway. And we'll play loose and fast with the term craft.
Yeah, mine's kind of lame. I'll go first. I would say technically it would be in college. My buddy was like, "Oh, I got this great new beer. It's called a Yingling."
Yeah. I was drinking Yingling. I was drinking.
Great new beer.
Yeah. Over a decade ago at this point, and it was great. I loved it, and at the time, Blue Moon and Shock Top were coming out and everything, and I was just wow, what are all these different beers?
Wow,
so, that would be my answer.
It's funny. I just had 2 pint cans of Yingling yesterday that I opened up to boil brats in.
Wow,
Ooh, that's a great choice for that.
Yeah, it worked. It worked nicely.
That's a great beer to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually.
You get a little bit of maltiness to it.
Sure.
Add a slightly different flavor to the brat.
Absolutely. Did you drink any of the Yingling while you were there?
No, because I didn't add any water. It was all straight beer, and then just boiled that down into beer onions.
Nice.
And we're back to hot dogs and beer onions again.
There you go. Gotta love it. So
Drop a couple mustard seeds in there. Won't hurt you none.
No, they wouldn't. Unfortunately, I don't have any mustard seeds. Time to call Penzies.
Well, now I know what to get you.
There you go. Let's give me a jar of mustard seeds. Jim, what was your beer?
Oh yeah, geez. I mean, I didn't really drink in high school, or actually at first even in college. I mean, tried, experiments, whatever. But Beast Ice and drinking, I don't know, Goldschlager, whatever the kids were, Zima. I wasn't about that life.
Right.
But then I did a semester abroad in Germany. I was a German minor actually, so I sprach ein bisschen Deutsch, aber jetzt mein Deutsch ist sehr schlecht. So bitte sei geduldig.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I got to Germany. I was like, oh my god, this beer is delicious. Who knew? Who knew that? And actually,
75 million Germans.
Yeah, right. I was so enthralled, as you tour the country, and of course, everyone listening knows that, each city has its own unique. So, culture. Sure. A Weissbier in Berlin is different from a Weissbier in Munich, and so on and so forth. So I just fell in love with that. I mean, I equated to back in America, the only parallel I could think of was sandwiches or hoagies, grinders, whatever you call them. Is it a Philly cheesesteak or a po' boy? Each city had its own culture, and I just fell in love with beer after that, and kind of never looked back. I'm sitting here talking to you.
That's great.
And
That's
now we're
awesome
getting to the point where almost every city has its own IPA style.
Mm.
Yeah, really.
Right. We went from IPA, Imperial IPA, to East Coast, West Coast, and now there's New England, East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
There, we now have mid coast. We learned there's something called Mid Coast IPA.
Okay. Let's do a Union County style. Let's take over
Union County IPA.
Well, someone's already pushing Jersey IPA.
Well, there's a New Jersey IPA.
Yeah,
Gee, I wonder who's doing that.
It's a style.
Beer Co. Or is there an NJIPA?
It's a New Jersey, NJIPA, yeah.
That's cool.
It's a style. And it's a style made up by a brewery that is known for making up styles.
Okay, well, nice. They
Can't speak the
They
name.
planted their flag.
We're allowed to mention the brewery.
We're allowed to
just
mention
not
the brewery.
the owner.
Can't say the owner's name. You say the owner's name 3 times, he pops up on the podcast.
It takes over.
It's like Beetlejuice.
Gotcha. Okay.
But-
Or
Yeah,
Bloody Mary might be a better equivalent.
Oh yeah. Well, hold on. There's one NJIPA, right? That's right.
But they just released another beer, and the style is Jersey IPA.
Jersey
Oh,
IPA,
cool.
yeah.
Nice. My first guild meeting I ever went to was actually they hosted they shall not be named hosted, and I brought I was homebrewer at the time in brewing and planning, and I brought some like bottles of just like chocolate vanilla porter, from like the garage, and I was like.
Sure.
I was like, oh man, I'm gonna like pass around, but people like weren't hating on them and stuff.
Sure.
So it was cool. It's a cool experience.
So if people haven't caught it yet, unknowingly, John got the order right. Matt is on your left. Jim is on the right.
Yes, I didn't.
And he didn't realize they were going to sit in those positions.
Well, at first they weren't, and then when I actually made this, I didn't make.
Yeah, you're Jim.
Well, but we're mirrored.
Oh, that's Jim. I'm Matt.
But
So
but John actually didn't get the order. They put that on
Mixed
there.
up a lot. More than you think.
One of my favorite experiences is actually people mistake us for each other.
All the time.
Yeah,
Like, and they're so confident too. They're like, Jim. I'm like, that's my brother.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Jim, my brother. Yeah, Jim. Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
Why?
No.
Who's that?
No, I always know Jim's hair's darker.
Mm.
You guys have slightly different smiles.
Oh, okay.
No, I get he's taller, more handsome, stronger. He's an actor. No, it's fine. I'm actually cool with that.
But you're the smart one.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
This is true.
Oh, there you go. Well,
Speaks the truth.
that's anyway.
No,
Moving on.
We're a great dynamic duo, and with Doc's support, like that's kind of the trifecta. And I want to shout out our brother Mike, John Michael, huge member of the team. Our brother Chris,
Sure.
our brother Chris was working there, but John Michael in the brew house, he's a brew dog, man. He's a worker. He's fastidious with the process and note taking and record keeping, and he's like also got advanced degrees in like business analytics and stuff. So he helps on the book keeping side, financial department, everything like that.
That's
so
awesome. You need that.
Absolutely. And then the other shout out is my wife, Marin Elaine. She does a lot with the labels. And,
designs all these beautiful labels.
Oh, that's a beautiful.
Very
I
nice.
love this label.
That's an awesome label.
Oh.
Kudos to that too.
It's a family team effort and
All hands on deck. Yeah, family
James
affair.
Winklebrain.
And I think I met your brother. I think I met John once, and it was like, "Oh, this is," and he's like, "Hey," and just went back to doing what he's doing.
Tallest and most handsome till they go grow. He's the Italian model with the man bun. Looks like a European soccer player. Like, man, what's up now?
You gotta love it.
Yeah, miss him. It was Gene Simmons.
With or without the face paint.
Yeah. All right. So in honor of Germany, I'm going to crack the Crispy Boy.
Crack the crispy boy. Go for it.
And tell us a little bit about Crispy Boy. That's is a German style lager.
Yeah, correct.
Or
4 ingredients, but not Reinheitsgebot because we do treat the water. Weiermann Pilsner, right? Weiermann Pilsner, 3470 yeast, and hops. The hops varied a little bit. I love Hallertau Mittelfrüh. I've fallen in love with Mandarin of Bavaria, obviously for finishing. Hallertau Blancs are beautiful. So those parlance of finishing hops. What I've actually had a bigger trouble with, in my estimation, is the bittering hops. I mean, that crisp. You need that bite, you need that big flavor punch. And the German Pilsner, right? Your Bohemian Pilsner is softer, a little more like richer mouthfeel and stuff. This is one more sulfates. I'm not looking for the chlorides as much. I want that snap. It's crisp, right? Crispy Boy. So there's that sweet spot for how much bitterness, how much that 60-minute kettle bitterness is going to cut through, clean and sharp, and then drop off because you don't want any astringency whatsoever. You want that absolutely sparkling, crisp, and refreshing. I love this beer. I've never nailed that. That's what I'm going for. So close.
Prost.
I remember the first incarnation of it. It was actually, I think you poured me a little off before it was even done.
Nice. Oh yeah, taste.
Yeah. Back in the corral there, and
back in the corral.
The hockey rink, yeah.
There you go.
And I remember thinking, "Damn, this is a fantastic beer. You had it, and and you're improving it."
Always creeping up maybe a couple IBUs, a little more hop snap. You know what I mean? That's the elusive chasing the dragon, as it were. But how long do you lager it? And you have to be able to read a newspaper through the through the glass or whatnot. That's a traditional test of clarity, anything like that. But
what's a newspaper?
Yeah, right.
I haven't seen one of those in I don't know how long.
That actually, I heard something today that was actually pretty funny. Tablets were replaced by scrolls. Scrolls were replaced by books. Now we scroll through books on tablets.
Nice.
Oh, that's deep.
Wow.
I thought it was deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mind blown.
No brains were damaged.
Okay, I'm done. Show's over. Thanks, folks.
All right, thanks,
Goodbye
man.
now.
I'm going to hook my brother up with a 2-player co-op. Shout out to the Deaf Cats at Twin Elefante.
Is that the new name, Twin Elefante?
Yeah, I don't know. They're very cool, and we enjoy working with them and stuff like that.
What's funny is I know a family named the Elefantes, and they were in soccer with my kids. They were in karate with my kids. So I don't think there was any twins, though.
This was a fun deal.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yes. So where does the coconut flavor in that one come from?
So it's
Real coconut.
Yeah, organic toasted coconut.
You used organic coconut. Okay.
Calls for 50 pounds and 7 barrels. So we got two 25-pound boxes, and we're loading it in. And there's a lot of hops in there. It's 4 pounds per barrel plus a biohop charge of 1 pound per barrel. So it's 1 pound per barrel Citra, and then 2 pounds per barrel each Motueko and Katu. We get a lime expression from them. The lime's Persian lime zest. For those types of beers, I like to make a tea. You can really control
right.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But the coconut's going in full stock, right? And it's going in, and the hops are foaming up, and you're pouring the bag, and the coconut's everywhere, and it's really stressful. It's really stressful, really very stressful. So I only actually got about 30 pounds of the coconut in before activity had to be locked down. Chernobyl had to go DEFCON 5 and seal the tank.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but we're going to brew Identity Crisis, the Irish Red Ale,
Coconut Brown,
Coconut Brown Ale.
Nice. Did you use any Sabro hops in that? Or?
No, Sabro's going Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Sabro's
Yeah, he's in different.
Because when I checked it, when I had on Saturday, I had 2-player co-op. Or was it 2-player coupe? It's all in caps, so I don't know.
2-player coupe.
Oh, it is co-op.
We're playing on the same team.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go.
That's what that dash means, Dave.
Yeah, same team.
Cooperative operations. There we go.
There we go.
And so the first thing that pops on that is the coconut.
Oh, cool! Wow. So maybe I didn't need all 50.
Nice.
Yeah, you may not have needed all 50 because it's real. And I checked it in.
You know what, though? I love it when it's in there. So even if you're using all 50, that's fine. I got to get some of that.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite, adjunct flavor. If you want to go with, I know it's not an adjunct because you're using actual coconut, but the when I checked it in, I actually checked it in with the question mark Sabra hops.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
Who doesn't do the untapped? He doesn't want to see the ratings. I handle that. So I saw your check and I choose it.
Yes, I did catch that. Yes, the 2 ton toast.
Oh, but that's cool, and I dig that expression from the Sabro. You're reinforcing my choice with the Super Saiyan because that with the Sriracha Ace and the Wild Rice and the Jasmine Rice, I think those flavors will play well.
Nice.
Oh, I can't, man! Just what you just said, I can't wait for that.
When are you brewing that?
It's in the tanks. We just try out.
I'll tell you when's that done?
Probably next week.
Gotcha. What day crashing? I'll stop by.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh God, I got lucky. My bottle opener's here.
Brewers out there, I'll say, just for what it's worth, layer your mash. We had a lot of success. Your barley, layer barley, and then a layer of the rice hulls and the flaked rice and the wild rice. Then layer of barley, right? So imagine like a triple decker sandwich and stuff like that.
7-layer dip.
Yeah, 7-layer dip, even better, right?
There you go.
Dip, cake, depending on
the rice imparts a really interesting flavor. It was really fun to brew with. It's definitely different.
Yeah, different. There's been a lot of. Is this going to be a lager or is this just a? Is this an ale?
Oh, it's an ale.
It's an ale, straight. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've been having a bunch of rice lagers lately, and they've been using a bunch of different, rices and everything else, but the flake rice and so forth and so on. And they're.
I do love a good rice lager.
Yeah, really good.
I haven't had a good one in a while.
So actually, to that point, what I'm kind of looking to do, because there's like the tradition in Japan of the spontaneous fermentation, like from the rice, right? And so I don't have that craft per se. So we've got the barrel room, with the sour project. And so if there's someone out there listening, with that skill or craft that wants to help us with some spontaneous fermentation in a controlled environment, hit me up.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Stop by the brewery or hit them up. Just go to their website, or you can even send us an email or a message in, and we'll get it to them.
Yep, absolutely.
Do that. Jim, when did you start brewing?
Oh man, this is embarrassing, but I'll tell it since you asked.
Last Friday. No.
Senior year of college, when I got back from Germany. My girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, I was talking about beer, wouldn't shut up about it. And so she bought me one of these like Mr. Beer kits, and we brewed it in the dorm room. Actually, I told the story at TCNJ. We got invited to an event with Twin Elephant and Carl Hungus. Shout out Carl Hungus if you're listening. And we conceived this, the idea at that time. But so she bought me this beer kit. It was awful. I mean, I tried. I bought spring water, in the gallon jug, and put it on a little stove in the dorm room. But I didn't have bottles, so I concocted the idea. I was like, like Snapple bottles when they pop. Like, it can hold carbonate? Yeah, no. Dude, listen. College kids, if you're listening, they can't. Your beer's going to flat. So don't try that.
See, I thought you were embarrassed because you brought up Mr. Beer, but Mr. Beer is definitely not – this is not the first time Mr. Beer has been brought up on the show at all.
Whatever the brand. I don't mean to slight the Mr. Beer brand per se. I take no responsibility for that.
This is at least, the third time Mr. Beer's been mentioned.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and we got a guest coming on the show in 4 weeks that definitely started with a Mr. Beer kit, because I remember that story that he told when he
Mr. Beer himself.
Yeah, Mike Kane. He was hanging around Brutus Brennan at the same time.
You might like to think he's Mr. Beer.
My brother's very humble, but he's been brewing 20 years, and he's a phenomenal brewer. He's got the magic touch. He can take a recipe or look at the shelf like a chopped kitchen and be like, okay, this is what we got. I'm going to make a winning recipe out of this, and it's just awesome what comes out of it.
Am I right in believing or remembering that your first ever beer festival award was one of your dad's beers?
He was there to receive it. Yeah, he was with us at the the Armory and stuff like that. But
yeah. Well, no,
or was it his idea or something like that?
But the funniest thing is, like, the running joke of the company is, why didn't my son start a wine company?
Oh yeah,
he's old school Italian. He doesn't really like beer.
Yeah.
So he's like,
we bought wine barrels, and he got excited, and they're for aging sour beer. I was like, all right, but he actually likes the sour beer. So that Mima style, that Mima style is kind of in our mother's honor too. But he likes the more. He does like sour. He likes the acid forward, not the hop forward.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Mimas a little bit more. A little later.
In a little bit, yeah.
You got it.
Shortly.
Oh, yes, shortly.
So you mentioned sours. Now I know that's near and dear to your heart. That's one of your favorite styles to brew, right?
Yeah, it is
brew,
for sure.
drink.
Yeah.
Brew, drink, buy, whatever.
Yeah.
What are some others? What are some other your favorite styles beyond sours? What are some of your other favorite styles?
Maddie?
To brew. Well, both of you.
To brew or drink? Oh wow!
Well, I've seen you brew there too, so you actually do brew. So I've seen it.
Beer shirt. Actually, stand up for the camera.
Yeah, well,
License, lactobacillus.
Yeah.
Pediococcus. Pediococcus. Listen, shout out Pediococcus. Stay away from it. Yeah. Don't like it. I've had ropey beer.
Yeah, we don't mess with
No.
Pediococcus is no good.
Yeah, don't go pedio. Okay, got it.
You're welcome at 2 times.
No pedio.
Here we go. Push him behind the bar. I'll serve this guy. He's going to tell you that he's a fun guy, but he ain't.
No, he's not a fun guy. Not at all.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right, folks, don't forget to tip your bartenders. They'll be here all week.
And try the veal.
Oh man, most questions. Oh man, I love sour beer. It's more for me. It's more situational. Depending on the season, what we're doing, whether we're at the beach, at the pool, campfire.
All right, so then do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite to brew?
Favorite to brew.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like our blonde ale or blood orange blonde. It's a light grain bill. It's an easy brew. less heavy lifting. Yeah. I'd say something like that, like our American
And Jim, you've been dragging Matt more and more into the brewing.
Oh, dude, he's amazing. He's actually brewer. I'll tell you this. I bet he's done more commercial batches than I have.
Really?
He's the Bailey. He's the principal. He runs the operations. You know what I mean? I direct production. I'm president of that side of things. But he's do not count Matt. I'll put him up against any brewer in the state. By the way, if anyone
That's
else,
awesome.
You know that too. You know that too. You'd be lucky to have him. He's the man.
I learned from the best. Who's that? I like to say he's the head chef or just sous chef. So
he's the executive chef and you're the sous chef, right?
Exactly. He writes 98% of the recipes,
and then goes out and walks around and talks to everybody while you do the work in the back, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. He writes
well, Jim. I mean, you tell everybody. I mean, you actually, this is Matt's doing this 100% of the time, right? And you have other things that you have to attend to.
Yeah, I shout out Barnegat Lighthouse. I'm a school administrator for Barnegat Township School District. Proud of it. So yeah, I'm there Monday, Friday, and I actually use my vacation days and weekends to brew. I love it so much, and with this opportunity that my family's given me, I'm very humble. Thanks.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. And Jess and I were actually there. It was a while ago, but you had a bunch of teachers that you work with. Down, and we're sitting at the big table in back. We were all sitting. It was
beer, alcohol in general.
Right? Yeah. But it was like you, a bunch of others, and Jess and I were all sitting at the one table in the back.
Oh, nice.
Thanks. But and right on. That's the vibe. If you've been there, the library, basement, our father's books hanging on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
The art installations.
They all come from education.
Yeah. Right.
My God, yeah. That room you've got downstairs, the speakeasy, so to speak.
Yeah.
So to speak,
love it down there. That's
great downstairs.
That's such an amazing room.
Absolutely.
And I love it when you guys have that open.
Mm-hmm.
If you have that open, that's where I'm drinking.
We've got a lot going on this fall. We've been saving up our events. So, you can thank the ABC for the opportunity to have live music again, which is awesome.
This is true.
Right? All those people involved in making it happen, I should say. In a positive way.
You've been saving up your events for the fall kind of thing?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, and just private parties. COVID affected us all in so many ways, and it was tough. We weren't allowed to gather, and that was really difficult for so many people in so many ways. So
that's true. It is true.
That was our biggest purpose for the downstairs was private events. So we'd have birthday parties. We had everything from a 1-year-old birthday party to a 70-year-old birthday party.
No, wait. The 1-year-old
awesome.
Okay, just mispressed.
Did you card him?
Great fake ID.
Fake ID. Yeah, there you go. Well, this doesn't look like you.
Babyface Finsta.
Yeah.
Get a nice beard. So
Finsta, baby.
Yeah, nice.
So, and you had, prior to COVID, your outdoor seating area was really the space between the brewery and the fence.
Yeah, correct.
And then that got expanded during COVID, and you took over some of the parking lot.
Absolutely, yeah. So
parking's not bad enough there.
What's that?
Because parking is not tight enough there as it is.
Well, we were like, parking, space outside.
And that's why I meant to thank the ABC, because they let us open up that back parking lot for events like that. And
increased like tenfold the amount of we could have.
There's 68 seats outside, I think approximately 72.
That's awesome.
Everything's socially distanced, stage for the band. So, it's good times.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's good. So when you guys originally started, you were contracting.
Yeah, for sure. And what an amazing thing was. I want to shout out.
I had to bring it up. Huh?
No.
There's a reason I'm laughing.
I
was getting to the point of when you opened the brewery. So obviously there were steps. So I'm getting there.
My Farmax trip tonight.
No, Steve.
I'll say one thing.
There was people that took a chance on us when we were nothing. And Bruin, I think it was. I lost count how many. Yeah, for sure. Different breweries around the state. And so we as contract brewers, everything from a 2-barrel to a 20-barrel. I'm like, learning everyone's process, taking notes. That's how we really design the space that we have now is with the input. Like, listen, like brewing beer is like driving a car. Like, it'll get you there, but like, this handles here, or how do you engage this, whatever mechanism got going on. Like, and then adapting your process to their equipment. And,
right, exactly. Absolutely.
Put on the high beams and you wash your windows.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly. I still got to give you guys props. To talk a brewery owner who once said that IPAs were a fad into allowing you to brew an IPA in his brewery, that's some serious cojones right there.
Thank you. Yeah, he didn't want totally against dry hops, so we had to work around that.
Yeah,
the most bitter IPA you could think of.
Didn't you go to Hop Oil for that one?
Listen,
No, we
so-
did. It was it's been a learning
Listen,
experience, guys.
we've all learned a lot. We all learned about lighthouses and other things, sandwiches.
Hey, I'm telling you.
The opportunity. I'm getting near hungry.
Yeah.
I think I hear dinner cooking.
There
So, there's a list. Speaking of barbecue, right? Was there a list?
What's that?
I heard there might be a list.
There's a list coming up. Our top 3. Yeah, that's we'll get to
All right.
that.
Well, I'm excited.
No, we do want to shout out our friends in the industry who were nice enough to give us a shot. Manskirt, Cypress,
Yep,
Elementary,
Yep. Departed Souls.
Departed Souls. Yeah, a lot of
Everybody. Climax Brewing.
a lot of people early on.
Some
No one else
projects.
wanted to take a contract, and they gave a couple guys, a couple brothers a shot. So
There
we
you
wouldn't be where we are if it weren't for them. So we are thankful.
I remember one of the first beer nights you had after you brewed your one of the first batches. It was
Mike
381
Kane's
Maine.
been cool.
381 Maine. I know.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The
That's
tap
right.
takeover, Hammer and Ale.
Hammer and Ale. There you go.
What could go wrong?
So,
Hammer and Ale.
okay.
I think we finished that keg that night too, right?
One of you brew Hammer and Ale, brew 9% ABV
Yeah.
with no dry hops. Go.
With no drops. Yeah, exactly.
What do you do? What do you do?
What do you do? You
Double hop back? I don't know.
And I just happened to have the good fortune of sitting in Poor Henry's when Matt delivered the first 6 stall.
Right.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no. So thank you, gentlemen, for this
Poor
opportunity
Henry's,
and
right.
support.
Yeah, that was, and I remember I sat I looked at Jesse when are you tapping it? He goes, I'll tap it now. I'm like, get that on, and I'm going to sit here until it settles down, and you can pour that thing.
there you go.
So let me speak to both you two gentlemen. This is my brother sitting here, and then the wider craft beer community, brothers and sisters out there, everybody. Like our slogan in Our Brothers We Trust was meant to be, and we said the messaging from the beginning, the brotherhood and sisterhood of craft brewers in the community. Everybody's that embraced us, lifted us up when we were down. We just want to do the same, pay it forward. We got nothing but love for everyone, and really just want to extend it, to thank you guys, everyone, folks, anybody listening out there. How much this means to us and the movement and of just trying to bring good beer to good people.
Yeah, it's been a journey for sure. And so many, craft beer bars and breweries and restaurants, and unfortunately, not all of them are still with us because of COVID. And it's been such a journey. Like you mentioned, Port Henry's. Shout out Jesse, gave us a shot.
Sure.
I think that was the first place that poured our beer ever. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's well said, and amen to that. It's
Yeah.
I've always been amazed at how tight. And it's funny because at first I thought it was like kind of a Jersey thing, but as you know, I spent a year in Rhode Island. They're just as tight up there, and I imagine that's true all over. It's the craft beer
No, I've seen
community
it.
nationally.
I've talked to a bunch of people in a lot of different areas up in, you up in Rhode Island, but in Boston, up in Portland, out in Denver, in Pittsburgh. I was just in. Speaking of people, it's the same all over. It's just the faces change.
Knoxville was the same way.
Yeah.
There's a brewery out there. There's this one group that consists of 3 of the best breweries in Nashville, and every now and then they get together and just make a spectacular beer that all 3 pour.
Yeah. Well, we've had a few people from the Dallas-Fort Worth area on.
Yep.
Even in Texas, and down in Texas, the same thing.
Well, there was 2 in Dallas-Fort Worth, 1 in Houston. They all know each other,
And they all know each other.
and that's a massive state, but they all know each other.
Yep.
great industry.
Yeah, so I just want to take this for a minute and actually shout out sexual harassment. That's got no place at work for anyone in any industry whatsoever. So we're against that big time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that was upsetting when that came to light.
Huge time. Huge. Yeah.
Yeah, but listen, moving forward, like you said, the industry's awesome and everything like that. I just wanted to
You know what, though? We'd be remiss to say that's it's an unfortunate, very, very unfortunate, very small part of this industry.
Yeah.
So,
but in a positive
for the most part, this industry is gelled like that. So,
yeah.
But
in a positive way, I want to shout out Battleship New Jersey Beer Association and Festival NJBA event. Man, I can tell you all about it. It was bangers.
Yeah, we had a great time. Last weekend we did the beer at the Battleship NJB.
yeah, that's right. It was beer at the Battleship.
One of these kids got a big Battleship.
Yeah.
It was our first time back doing a beer festival in a long time since COVID, and it was a great time. You could tell the energy, the vibe. Everyone was just itching to get out and gather and drink beer, so it was cool.
I did want to attend that. Actually, had already had plans to go to Reddington that day to the Balloon Fest.
Yes,
And Dave was there as well.
we just didn't know the other one was there.
I didn't know he was there. He didn't know I was there until he left. Then I realized he was there.
Yeah, moving from the lighthouse to the battleship, it is the most highly decorated battleship in our fleet ever with 19 battleships. Just so everyone is aware,
history. He's
oh
history.
my god, but
Big history guy. Right?
and a lot of New Jersey pride. All right,
Yeah,
it's about
sure.
What I loved about that thing, it could glob shells the size of a Volkswagen and come within about
Nice.
right, and it would hit within 5 yards of its target.
Yeah.
When you're lobbing Volkswagens with that accuracy from about 30 miles offshore,
That's pretty damn good.
That's a problem.
They
That's
wouldn't
pretty
let
spot on.
me fire it though.
so we
But I
talked
feel
about.
like they stormed the festival instead of with a horn that goes like the report from like a 52 millimeter howitzer.
Yeah.
Makes all of Philadelphia jump.
Pretty cool.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, just trying to talk positive.
Whatever.
So I'm opening my second,
I was going to say, open your second beer. I got a couple other things.
and because we need to talk about this beer.
Oh,
Yeah, we
nice.
Oh, cool.
Beautiful.
So the Mimas. So I actually originally had 2 4-packs in my hand when I was getting ready to leave, and when I found out what the Mimas was, I'm like, nope, I'm taking that too. Because like you guys, I love sours, and I love this beer. This beer's fantastic, and I enjoyed the hell out of this beer. Then you go and you read the label, and we touched on this a little earlier. We talked about it a little bit before the show, and I'm going to read this here. Our mother Alice loved fruited sour beers, and her grace and creativity resonate throughout this entire venture. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, might need a minute.
Yeah, I was gonna.
It's dedicated to our late mother. You know, we love her. We miss her very much. She was a huge part of Two Ton when we were starting out. She did the books for us and was so proud and excited for us that we're starting a family business. And she's an incredible artist. So she actually painted many paintings that hang up at our parents' house. And one of them, I took a picture with a nice camera, and Jim's wife, Maren, was able to create that label from that image. So that's
what
actually,
that is?
yeah, she painted that. And if you turn it, there's a little Easter egg. Her face is in the mountains right there.
In this one?
Yeah, silhouette. You can kind of see like her face in the mountains. So she passed a couple years ago, unfortunately, to breast cancer. And we love her and miss her every day. And so that one's for her.
Yeah, because reading that, because I drank it, checked it in, and then I went back and looked at the label and went, ugh.
Higher.
Yeah. No, well, listen, whatever the number is, let me explain the backstory to kind of understand. Like, it was an interesting blend of a tribute to our mother, as you stated, but also our father, who likes red wine, as we were joking earlier. So, it's sour red ale, aged in Cabernet barrels, okay, for 1 year. And then 2 wine barrels blended back into a 4-barrel stainless with 1 pound per gallon of raspberry puree from Puree Arete in the Catskills. Okay, and then that's sat for about 6 months with the house lacto Brett blend. And, the tannins of the wine do take that. I was hoping for more rich vinous. You know what I mean? The oak, I think, I think it pulled maybe too long in the barrel, a little bit. So, I would have liked more of because the raspberry nose is unbelievably amazing. Yes. It's like jam. It is like the vinous character that is beautiful. But you're right. It's not like I don't know if. Like, it's not vinegar, but the tannins do bring another level of acidity that's almost unnecessary between the fresh raspberries and the lactic itself.
Right. It's funny because
I was hoping for a little more Brett funk, if we can be frank. But all in all, the beers, thank you. I do think it's outstanding. I'm glad you dig it.
Yeah, really.
And, whatever the rating, it's just a cool, opportunity to extend the pride and the courtesy to our mother and her legacy and her creativity.
It's like when I poured it. It's funny you should say that, because when I poured it, as I'm pouring it, I looked at Carrie and went, "Oh my God, that's all raspberry jam."
Yeah. The nose is like wild, right? The nose is wild.
Yeah, and then you get a taste of it, and there's that, and it's funny because at first I misinterpreted the the barrel as more of a maltiness, but I definitely get what you're saying now. That that's that cab, and it, as I mentioned earlier, it's just. It comes off as just this side of vinegar.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. And I would say I think you're actually right.
But a great side of it.
Thanks. But I would use differently. I did not use any caramel malts. No crystal whatsoever, because that oxidizes, right? So that can feed the Brett in a bad way. You get like the baby diaper, right? Butyl acid, right? Butyric, whatever. So we got to avoid that, right? We want to stay away from that. Mm-hmm. So I use like floor malted Munich and like richer non-caramelized malts, and that brought us here, right? So out of cautious fear, I mean, I think I would try again with our house and Brett blend. I think as long as you don't allow any other DO in, I think you can avoid butyric. So I think I would go with a little caramel crystal pop next time, which would bring a little toasty roastiness into playing off the vinous factor. So, but like this is the fun part of brewing, right? Having that sparring. So the craft beer samurai, you're quick with your sword, sir. And I appreciate you. And thank you for your palate tonight.
Absolutely. I'll tell you this, what I love about this, it's not often you get a sour that's got so much acidity to it that once you've finished taking the sip, your salivary glands are still just pouring out.
Sure.
And I love when you get that out of that, where it just activates everything in your mouth. Everything's alive in there.
Yeah, it is like my mother.
In the back of your jaw. Like
Yeah.
It's like on a scale with the warhead. It's up there.
Yeah, it's like it almost can fatigue your jaw, almost like you've been chewing on really good Italian bread for a while, right?
Oh, speak my language.
Listen. Normally our sours are in 22-ounce bottles. We put that one in 12-ounce bottles for a reason.
Yeah.
If there's any chefs listening out there, take that, reduce it, and use that reduction as a glaze for whatever your favorite.
Oh, God.
We had a customer say they poured it over vanilla ice cream, and it was magical.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
I would like this over like maybe grilled octopus.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh,
Interesting.
That's what I would do with
The
it.
Culinary Samurai is coming out now.
Yeah. So the Mimas, the name.
Yeah.
Okay, so her grandchildren, my children, called her Mima,
Mm-hmm.
and so our dad has like funny pet names from her, so he turned that into like the Mimas.
Yeah,
like
slang for Mimas.
yeah.
I figured it had something to do with Mima or
Deep
Couldn't
inside.
just call it straight up grandma, so
Right.
had to mix it up.
I didn't know what the name meant until I read the label. Like,
All of our beers are like inside jokes or pop culture references, or it's so hard to come up with unique names nowadays with 5,000 breweries in the country and everyone putting out great beer. It's hard to come up with a truly unique name. So
Sure. Well, I'm sure you did it with this one. I don't think there's another than Mimas.
Crispy boy when the internet was hot.
yeah, how many crispy boys are there out there now?
We're the first. Look it up.
That's going to be a style soon. Like within the next couple of years, the Brewers Association is actually going to make Crispy Boy an actual style. So, anyway,
so John, I know you got a second beer line.
I got a second beer. I'm going to open also from Pittsburgh, from Dancing Gnome. If you're not familiar with Pittsburgh breweries, it's one of the more
Premier.
known ones. FAQ.
Is that a fact?
It's a fact. It's a fact, Jack. It's a double IPA.
nice.
Just open this one. You're going to ask if it's hazy. My answer is duh.
Nice. So give us some descriptors.
I will do that. Let me just pour this and
I'm salivating in anticipation.
take the cursory lager room picture.
He likes to do this.
So I do it quite often. There we go. All right. Anywho, all right, there it is right here. Hold on. My Old Nation glass right there.
There we go.
Very tasty.
That is a hazy boy.
Cheers. Yeah. Hazy boy.
Oh, it's delicious. It really is.
Oh, good. Good. Favorable first impression.
Yeah, passion fruit, a little bit of apricot, some citrus. It's really it's fruity. It's
they nailed it.
And it's still given, and it's still bitter too. It's not like absence of bitter. It's there. It's really nice, and it's smooth too, as you can probably guess from the.
I'm sorry. What's the ABV?
8%.
It's scrolling on the
Oh my gosh! Thank you. Oh, there's Steve on the screen.
Refer to
Look, Grandpa.
Yeah, this is
You can't discriminate against me.
It's high tech here.
this
So,
comes from his love of ESPN.
Yes.
yeah, this it's a sports thing now.
Yeah.
I don't really watch sports. I love to play sports, but I don't really watch.
There you go. But no, it's really good. Dancing Gnome's a great brewery. We visited a bunch of breweries. We went to we probably hit about 12 breweries in 2.5 days while we were out there.
Out of the 42?
Out of the 42. There's in and around Pittsburgh, there's 42 breweries. Ish, yeah. And we hit 12 or 14 we hit in the 2.5 days. We got there Saturday around noon, and we left Monday at about 7. So
Nice.
Yeah,
Of those 12 or 14, not naming names, what percent would you rate positively?
They were all great because I did my homework before.
Oh,
we
wow.
went, so.
He targeted.
Nice.
So then let me ask a follow-up. Of the ones you liked in particular, what feature did they have in common?
Good question. Atmosphere, customer service.
Every one of them had a great atmosphere. Everybody, I did not run into one person anywhere in the city, let alone at the breweries, that did not have great customer service.
And availability of styles. How would you rate?
I'll actually say it. The diversity in the styles. Just a good diverse menu. It wasn't all sours. It wasn't all IPAs. It wasn't all. It was because they're the breweries I try to target. The ones that have a lot of different styles covered. Because I'm going to go in. I'm going to have a couple IPAs, of course. I'm going to have a couple of sours, but I want to have an English mild, right? I want to have an old beer, an old ale, or an alt beer, when it's in season, But those breweries that can do that. That's why, I've said it before on the podcast. Treehouse and Trillium are amazing breweries, and they're always at the top of my list for Massachusetts breweries. But my favorite Massachusetts brewery is Night Shift because they do so many different styles and they do everything so well.
I remember. I lived in New England for a year, so finding breweries with the diversity of styles could be a challenge. Mm-hmm. Again, props to Trillium. They do 3 styles extremely well. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
Trillium does 2.
Yep.
I mean, Treehouse does 2, right? And so finding those breweries where you could get, a good German style ale or lager was, I can point you to them because I spent a year up there.
Right.
But it took a little while to find sometimes.
They make Night Shift does Keller beer that's amazing.
Oh yeah,
Zwickel. That's
Zwickel.
Yeah.
Zwickel. That's crazy. Yeah,
so to dig on that, man. I'm drinking Sundeck Flex, trying to bring Kolsch into the 21st century. I love it.
Yeah. Give me a good Kolsch. I get what we
That's
went
the
to.
lime ginger one, right?
Yeah, but I love Moscow Mule, right? I love the ginger combo, and I love ginger beer, reeds, right? Such a nice cut and sharpness.
Very refreshing.
So back off on the hops and use that as your bitterness agent.
Yeah,
there you go.
Easy to overdo, but when you get the right amount of ginger, it's nice. It's pleasant.
Nice, awesome.
Yeah, I like a nice ginger burn.
Great. Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
So we walk up to it slow, man. We did a 15-barrel batch on this, and for all you brewers listening out there, we go with let's do 5 pounds of ginger tea, 10 pounds of ginger tea. Keep walking it up. 15. What do you got? Making it in batches, pouring it in, sensory tasting. Is it there yet? Recirculate. Hit it again. I would live in the area of 1.5 to maybe 2 pounds per barrel of ginger. I would not recommend going beyond that.
No, because I don't know. I'm one of those. Have you ever had Blenheim's hot ginger ale?
No, but now I know what you should get me.
Nice. Yeah, I've got. I think there's 2 left in my fridge.
You want the whole 20?
There we go. I'll have to bring that down. So Blenheim's, you can actually get that at picked it up at south of the border.
Okay. Oh wow.
It comes from down there. So
I bought fireworks there in 1997.
Yeah, there's still a reason to stop there. It's like the cheapest gas in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You got to get the sticker for your car because
of course
it's a given. And
of course.
that spicy ass ginger ale.
Really cool. That's awesome. I'm going to bring a couple of news things up really quick. I did want to mention one thing. I don't know if you saw it, but New York City is now whether it went in. I guess it's the first city in the U.S. to institute a requirement. New York City is now requiring proof of vaccination for bar and restaurant patrons to dine and drink indoors.
Pretty heavy.
So here's a hint for everybody. If you've got your Vax card, don't carry it around when you take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Take a picture of it. If you show them a picture on the phone, because I've actually come across this a couple of times in New York City because I work in New York City, show them a picture on your phone of it, and they will accept that.
Okay.
Actually, I've seen it happen in Hoboken as well. Cork City requires it.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, everybody's allowed to do whatever they want. It's just that New York City is now requiring it. Whether the bars want to or not, they have to because New York City's requiring it now.
So yeah, if you're vaccinated, take a picture of your Vax card, store it on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's crazy. So, and I was going to say this too before when we were talking about it. With everything that it seems to be leaning one way or whatever, I'm just crossing the fingers that we don't slip back into some form of a lockdown or anything.
Yeah.
It's just it really sucks. Florida's blowing up right now.
Yeah, so we don't need to talk about that. So moving back to beer, if you guys got more beer.
Well, no, I'm talking about it in regards to beer, right? In regards to everybody, I don't want to get into a pandemic discussion or vaccines or anything like that. I'm talking about just what it means to the beer industry.
Beer. You guys got more beer than any questions. Otherwise, I'm gonna go eat dinner. I wasn't kidding about Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday is coming. So
here, dog.
Well, I will mention one other thing, though. I want to talk about one other thing, and this is very important. Very important. Very important. Molson Coors just announced that they're discontinuing 11 beers.
I did see that.
So, and Keystone Ice and Milwaukee's Best Premium topped the list.
Yeah. So when I was thinking about when I was like, I didn't drink in college. That was that beer.
Called it beer.
That was that beer. So
the only thing I can
tell someone to age it.
Right, yeah.
It's all on the internet.
There you go.
The only thing I'll say about that is
Katie for Dogecoin.
There you go. Keystone Ice and Key Lightful. Key Lightful's off the menu too. No more Key Lightful.
I'll just say Via con Dios.
There you go. Did you ever have Key Lightful?
No.
It was delicious. It just
no,
was,
it wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, I've never had it, so I can't.
Well,
say
I didn't say it was delicious. I said it was keylicious. So, anyway, but here's one thing I do want to bring up. I do want to ask this now. And this is something. Obviously, I didn't drink the beer, so I can ask this question. I'm not going to look like an idiot. But one of the beers that they're getting rid of is Miller High Life Light. Now, for some reason, I always thought that Miller Light was Miller High Life.
No. Hold on. Shout out. I want to shout out Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
Right.
It's acceptable. And
the light version.
Yeah.
It's
right.
Gotcha. Well, I read a little bit, and they're saying the Miller High Life.
Coors Banquet beer, for 500 out.
We were once actually, story. There's a brewery owner in New Jersey still that once told us for $5,000 if we paid him $5,000.
Oh my God, this is true.
It's a true story. He would give us the recipe to Miller Lite Light.
Yeah, Miller Lite Light.
Miller Lite Light.
Yeah, true story. Double that. Going that way.
Said, I know how to brew it.
Yep.
The recipe's yours.
All right, we're not going to do anything on the show, but when we're done, you got to tell me who that was.
Nope. Sorry, but you can guess.
Miller Lite Light. I love it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's great.
True story.
That's great. Anyway, oh geez. All right. You know what? Before we get to the top threes, I got one question for you. You talked about beer festivals before. You talked about going to the Battleship and everything else. What are some of your New Jersey specifically? What are some of your favorite? Obviously AC Beer Fest. Obviously, you're going to say that, but that goes without saying. What are some of the smaller beer festivals that you like?
Well, we like them all, John. But to be honest, we haven't been able to do them as much as we would like to because staffing has been an issue. I mean, there's been a nationwide.
Isn't it always? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But shout out people who want to work. Call up Two Ton.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I love pouring festivals, so let me know.
Okay, well, that was pretty.
Let me know.
Sign them up. Right there.
Let me know. I love pouring them.
But
I'll represent you well.
There you go.
Allison, JMK, does a great job with events.
Oh, she does. Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of great.
She just had that same weekend as
the Morristown, the Armory. There's so many good ones.
Yeah. Well, the same weekend as the Battleship was. She had one in Chester, didn't she?
Yeah.
It was the same one. Yeah.
A lot of good ones.
But which is also about our state. We've come such a long way.
That's where I was going. It's been like we've come such a long way with breweries, and we've come such a long way with festivals. Obviously, they're going hand in hand.
I would say anything with live music, man. The food trucks are fantastic too. Yeah. Everybody wins. It's cool that
it's a good time.
They finally let people have fun in New Jersey.
Yeah, who knew?
It's about time, isn't it? Really?
We're allowed to have fun, with or without cursing.
Well, we can do that. We can try anyway.
We can try.
Anyway, all right. How about we do our top threes? Let's do our top three list. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this week our top three list, as you know, top threes. Why do we do a top three? We do a top three because a top 10 would take way too long. So we each do our own top threes. Plus, we wind up giving more than that anyway. But that's besides the point.
Yeah,
anyway.
we cheat.
And why is it top 3? Because we're paying homage to 1933, the repeal of Prohibition. So top 3s. This week's top 3 is top 3 favorite beers to drink while barbecuing. Top 3 favorite beers to drink while barbecuing. Let's let Mr. Either of the Barbieres. Matty, go first. Go for it.
All right. Let's see. Top 3 beers to barbecue.
Matty Two Ton.
Now you can be specific with beers, or you can do styles. That's fine too. I'm kind of doing both. You'll see when you get there. But
I'm doing styles to not play favorites too much. All my friends in the industry, but New Jersey's crafting a lot of amazing beers. But for barbecuing, for grilling, we're talking usually summertime.
Sure.
So I'll start, like any good story with the end. No, just kidding. Number 3, I would say probably like a good Kolsch. It's crisp, refreshing. It's a great beer to go with barbecue. Throw some chicken on the grill, have a nice Kolsch.
Absolutely.
Number 2, I'm a sucker for IPAs. In particular, we talk a lot about New England style IPAs or East Coast IPAs, hazy IPAs. So a nice hoppy but sweet IPA, I would favor. And then my number 1, as always, shocker, sour. Love a good sour beer, whether it's a true sour or a kettle sour, Berliner.
But with the barbecue has vinegar in it.
Yeah, but I still like it.
Load on sour.
You're
going to double down?
Double it up.
You are
doubling down.
Double butter.
Doubling down.
Oh, it actually helps with your meat.
Now would you? Let's slow cook a Boston butt in a sour, huh?
Kolsch, New England, and sour.
Okay.
Yeah, Kolsch, New England sour. All right, Jim.
Okay. We're very similar in a lot of ways. So
You can have the same list if that's what it is. It's what it is. So
Oh no. Well, listen, I'm Matt. No, he's okay. Right. So
He's Matt.
So my mom married his dad. And his mom married my dad at the same time.
That's how it works.
Okay, right. So I like the Kolsch, but I'm gonna go with a lager, maybe a German Pilsner with some cut and some bite.
Classic brewer.
I could default. Listen, my guilty pleasure. Oh my God, I'm gonna say it. I'll drink a Corona with lime. I like it so much. I'm sorry. I like it. I love it. It's so good in my mouth.
You're forgiven.
But I'll put a German Pilsner, Tuborg, Königsberg, any of those great cutting, whatever. So that's solid. So you picked an IPA. I dig that. It's got to be sessionable if you're grilling, but I don't like an overly thin. I don't like an overly thin IPA. So I'll take a pale ale, man. I'll just take an American pale ale with a hop and a malt expression. Citrus pine, West Coast, because that's got that same snap too. If you're grilling all day, you want to rock and roll that, right?
Like a Sierra Nevada.
Sierra Nevada pale ale. Yep. Right. And then number 3, you went sour, I went stout. I'm gonna go stout. I'll tell you why. Ready for this?
Go for it.
Maybe you're drinking the stout if you're smoking the meat, okay, over an open pit. Okay, you're roasting a hog all day. Maybe you're drinking that stout, or maybe you're pouring a little stout on the barbecue as it's going.
Summer stout.
Like anything could happen.
Shout out summer stout.
If you're not barbecuing with the stout, I don't know if we're really that close as people and friends and everything like that. I don't know you anymore.
Yeah,
right?
Really.
Yes.
But they're brothers and they're not close. What's that?
That happens.
Yeah, Matt.
There you go. Cool. Awesome. Samurai?
So what I typically do is a Jersey, a U.S. not Jersey, and international. And once again, I've kind of gone in the same direction. So we'll start off with the Jersey. I'm not going to put them in a 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put them in that order.
Yeah, mine's not 1, 2, 3 either.
Yeah, and so I'm going to go with the Jersey one to begin with, and this is that love for hops. But Jim had a point. If you're going to be barbecuing, smoking, whatever, you want low ABV. And I think it's no secret that I'm a big fan of Carton's Boat Beer.
Oh yeah, it's a very good choice. Yeah.
And I'll drink that all day.
Yeah. As designed, as was designed, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The non-Jersey U.S. one is along that line of that German Pilsner. But it's my favorite German Pilsner brewed in the United States, and that is Crooked Staves Von Pilsner.
Wow, cool.
Great brewery.
Love that beer. my favorite American brewed Pilsner at this point. And then
good
if I go international, and I go classic, go with the history, the Weihenstephaner, the Hefeweizen. And I'll sit and I'll drink that. It's because for me it is the softest, most approachable Hefeweizen that's brewed. Because there's some of those Hefeweizens that are so much into that banana bubblegum esters, or so over the top with the phenols that they'll tire you out after a little while.
Sure.
That's not true of Weihenstephaner. It's controlled. It's softer, and I can drink that all day as well.
Sure. Yeah, great choice. Oldest operating brewery, right? Since like 1089 or something.
1089, yeah. Yep. In another 60-something years, it's going to be 1,000 years old, that brewery.
Wow. So they got that right early on.
Do you think they've dialed that recipe in by now?
They might have dialed in. Yeah.
So yeah, great choice, Sam.
They might be tweaking. They might be still doing some tweaking.
I don't think so. All righty. All right.
Johnny's is a bit more complicated.
Well, mine, I actually went, I kind of did with all of you did. I had mine separated by, all right, if I'm smoking meat, if I'm grilling steaks, or if I'm grilling burgers and dogs.
Nice.
And it's really ties into that. It really does. So, all right, if I'm smoking meat, I'm drinking a brown ale.
Ooh, okay. Nice bring.
Nice bready brown ale. And
now the whole thing about that is you got to be careful about the ABV, because most people, when they're
targeting, what's your target there?
Yeah, because when you're smoking, you're using your beer as your timing mechanism to add the wood, right?
Yep.
So if your ABV is too high, either you forget to add wood or you're adding so much wood.
Yeah, but I'm not drinking 10% brown ales either. So
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm drinking. Yeah, I mean sessionable in the brown ale realm. Sessionable.
You could talk me down to 5 or 6%.
5 or 6%.
Yeah, you're talking about 6%. Yeah,
exactly. So, and the one I've had the most, and then I said I do this. The one I've had the most is probably Old Brown Dog. I've probably had the most Old Brown Dog while smoking meat. And I'm using some of that too. I'm putting in a water pan. I'm open up, pour a little bit in, drink. And that kind of thing.
And along those veins, I would be using Ubu for that, right?
There you go. Right.
Very similar beer.
Exactly. But I'll tell you one of my favorites, and I'll say this, and if we ever do a brown ale list, it's probably going to be my number one. Honestly, Treehouse's Bear is really, really good.
I've never had that. I haven't had that one. But I'm looking at malty beers, man. They're unloved in the current marketplace, but the complex flavors of malt once upon a time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can drink. I'll drink malty beers. Just give me them all summer. I don't care if they're not that high in ABV. I don't care how malty they are. Just give me them.
It's an ale, right?
Yeah, exactly. So brown ales is while smoking meats. While grilling steaks, I'm going a little lighter. I'm going in like but I'm still staying with the maltier side of things. I'm going with an amber ale. I want to drink an amber ale.
Wow, you're bringing a brown ale and amber?
Yeah.
You double bagger, you.
Amber, yeah, absolutely. That's me. I'm drinking.
Yeah, I feel it.
Once the food is done and I'm just sitting there and relaxing or whatever, I'll probably drink an IPA or pale ales and cold and everything else. But
steak, I want to start with a steak.
I want to no. I'm not saying drink it with it. I'm drinking while I'm barbecuing it. So I'm drinking an amber ale. So, and to be honest with you, let's call a spade. When I'm the beer I've had the most, the amber ale or amber lager, if you will, that I've had the most while grilling steaks is Yingling. Mm-hmm. It really has. Have I had plenty of others? Sure, of course. Defiance, Muddy Creek comes to mind. It's a solid amber lager. It really is nice and caramelly and bready and toffee and everything else. But the one I've had the most is probably Yingling. And then while grilling burgers and dogs.
One second, hold a second.
Yep.
Jim just poured something new.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! Same.
He just poured the rest of that can.
He was just doing it with a flourish. Okay.
Sorry. I thought that was etiquette.
That's all good. It's all good. I do it too. It's fine. I still got a little more in this. In fact, you just reminded me. There you go. I need to pour the rest of that. There you go.
Yeah, I'm empty.
There you go. But my third while grilling burgers and dogs.
He's bringing a brown ale, an amber ale,
and Dave stole my thunder. Weihenstephaner Hefeweizen all day long.
Ooh,
all day long. All day long while I'm drinking.
We'll say rewind the clip about all the great things about their bourbon.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. So, Yeah, it's my favorite hef, and it always has been, and always will be. I've said this before on the show, if I walk into a beer bar, and there's 50 awesome beers on tap, and nothing is bad, but one of the taps is Weihenstephaner Hefeweizen, that's the first beer I have.
Number one. Numero uno.
So point of view, you just see someone order it on the other end of the bar. They put a lemon wedge in it. What do?
I stop them before they do it.
Yeah, I stop them before they do it, or I leave. Yeah,
you like it? You kind of like it.
Yeah. Actually, to be honest with you, the beer's so good, I probably when they hand it to me, I just take the wedge out and throw it.
Throw it over your shoulder. Make a wish.
Right. There you go.
Yes.
So there you go. Awesome.
And hope you don't hit anybody much larger than you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but also shout out to their brewery, operators and stuff out there. Do you make them available for customers upon request? Like, we do not have any fruit garnish on our beers. Like, we just serve them in a glass, I guess nature intended. As one might say. Right. But I dig the flourish and the showmanship. So do you like salt the rims of your Goza? Are there crusted macadamia nuts on there? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, there's, I'm not a huge blueberry ale fan or watermelon ale fan, but one of my favorite, my second favorite blueberry ale is Boston Beer Works up in Boston. They make an awesome blueberry ale. My number one is Atlantic, is Bar Harbor Brewing. Bar Harbor Blueberry.
And which I will be at.
There you go.
Within the week.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite blueberry. But in Boston Beer Works, they actually put blueberries in. They muddle a couple of them, throw a couple others in, and then fill the blueberry in. They put like two in, muddle them a little bit, and then they put a couple more in, and then pour the blueberry out.
Well, slushy beer trend, discuss. I mean, that's a whole other podcast.
Right. And then my other one, watermelon ales. I generally do not drink a watermelon.
Never do when I'm scared of it.
I really just don't. Everybody loves Hell and High watermelon. That's fine. I'll drink it if somebody has it, and that's the only thing. Like barbecue, whatever. It's fine.
Wet Ticket.
Well, our friends at Wet Ticket do brew a really good watermelon wheat.
Yes, they do. Wet Ticket does brew the watermelon. It is very good. It is.
And I think that's their number one seller, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pumpkin though. I like other boards. Sasquatch. That's a fucking name, Sasquatch. I'm calling that one Squash with like actual squash. Like, pick your gourd.
Squash.
But pumpkin version. I actually did. I was actually at Wet Ticket a few weeks ago. Jess and I met Al, and we had a couple, and Jess had a couple of watermelons. It's really good. It is good. But my favorite one,
of Boo fan fame.
That would be him. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. But in any event, no. But my favorite watermelon is Boston Beer Works too. And the reason I'm saying this is because they garnish it. You're talking about garnishes. They actually put a slice of watermelon on the glass when they serve it.
All right. So listen, craft beer community, you respond. If you're listening, reach out to your platform, whatever, contact you. Vote up or down. Do you want breweries? Would you prefer if breweries offered garnishes, optional garnishes for the beers? Yes or no?
There you go. Awesome. Write us in. Let us know. Put it on Facebook.
Let the people speak.
Let the people speak. Put it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our YouTube channel, everything. Write us an email. Send them an email at 2 Ton.
I'll say yes. I'm Matt. He's Jim. Everyone have a great night tonight. Get home safe. If you're watching from the
there you go.
fire into there.
All right.
They're ready for tacos.
They're ready for tacos. They
need a cerveza.
All right. On that note, then, if they're ready for tacos, we might as well wrap it up then. But you got something else you want to say?
First, we have a programming note.
We do have a programming note. Go ahead. I'll go. You go. Yeah, you go.
The Lager Room guys are taking a vacation next week.
1 week
heard
vacation.
Us talk a little bit about Maine. We are taking a week, and could we do the show on the road? We could. Mm-hmm. Do we want to? Maybe. Nope. But no, because we're going to be.
There may be some Instagram live videos.
Ooh.
Very possible. But I know that Tuesday of next week I'm going to be on a lobster boat. So
nice.
Would be really cool to do a show from that. But we will be taking a break next week, our first break since we started this.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we've changed the day of the week every now and then, but this will be the first week where there will not be a.
This is the 46th show. This is the first time in 46 weeks.
Wow, that's 46 in a row. Well done. So naturally, you'll keep it going.
Of
Camper, drink some beer in the woods.
47 is going to be on week 48. That's what's the difference.
And we're coming back strong.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun show.
And we'll be back. We'll be back in on the 17th, 2 weeks from today. And we're actually having another two brewery too. It's 2 Ton today. 2 weeks from today will be Two Roads.
Oh, nice.
Oh, what's up, dude? We love that.
Yeah, those are our friends.
Johnny Kleinchester will be on the show 2 weeks from today.
Awesome.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
And our top 3 list that week will be top 3 favorite Maine beers. Gee, I wonder why we're doing it that way.
Wonder why we're doing that. Is it beers or breweries?
Breweries. Top 3 breweries. So anyway.
Cool. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate your palates. Appreciate your knowledge, wisdom.
Absolutely.
Opportunity.
Anytime, and we appreciate everything you're doing too. You guys are brewing some great liquid, and like I said, I haven't been up there in a few months. I got to get back up there. I got to get up and see you guys. And what's amazing is basically the three of us live around the corner from each other, but I got to go up to Kenilworth to see you.
Right.
And the one thing, and you guys have heard me say this many, many times, one of the nicest families you'll ever meet.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
These guys.
Absolutely. Our best to Doc.
Well, Matt is.
Appreciate it.
Yes, our best to Doc. Shout out to Doc.
And cheers to Alice.
Cheers.
Thank
you. Much like the Mimas. Thank you. Cheers.
Chin-don.
Thanks, guys.
You got it. You got it. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. Stay right there. We're going to talk to you after we sign off.
He gets to do a shtick here.
This is my shtick.
This is kind of impressive. I think he does it in one breath.
I try to do it in one breath. Sometimes I take a second or a third. So anyway, we'll wrap the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night at 6:30, except for next week. For those of you that want to just listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show.
That was 6 breaths. That's impressive.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Have a great week off next week. Drink a lot of beer. Drink responsibly. Make sure you see these guys up in Kenilworth. Awesome beer.
Get there.
Enjoy it, and we will talk to you all soon, guys. Take care. Cheers.
Be well.
Cheers.
Bye, folks.
They found him face down in his waffles, maple syrup dripping from his fake rug. Who did he see when he heard who was there? Now it seems that he shit out of luck. This